Wake up. Yeah, you heard me. Wake up. Not just out of your bed, but out of that mindset that tells you you're not enough. Out of that pattern that keeps you doubting your worth. Because today is not just another day, it's a new beginning. A chance to love yourself like your life depends on it. Because it does. You've been given to everybody else. You've been pouring out your energy, your time, your strength for people, for work, for expectations. But what about you? What about your soul, your heart, your peace? It's time to look in the mirror and stop seeing your flaws and start seeing your fire. You've got something powerful inside of you, but you can't use it. You're constantly tearing yourself down. You want to change your life. It starts with you, not with what people think, not with what they say, not with what the world expects. It starts when you decide to love yourself enough to stop settling, enough to stop doubting, enough to say, I deserve more. This morning isn't just the start of your day, it's the start of your rise. Speak life into yourself. Speak power into your own name. Don't wait for someone else to believe in you. Believe in yourself. You are worthy. You are capable. You are get up. Now breathe. Lock in. And go take on the day like the masterpiece you were born to be. Let's go. You want to build a powerful life. You want to wake up with purpose. Live with intention and walk into every room with confidence and clarity. Then listen to this. Self-love is not a luxury, it's the foundation. Everything you want to build, your dreams, your career, your health, your relationships, it all begins with how you treat you. You can't build anything strong on top of self-doubt. You can't create success while secretly hating the person in the mirror. Because no matter how far you try to run, you're always running with yourself. See, most people try to chase results before they build identity. They want to change the outside, but they're crumbling inside. You want to grind harder, but you won't even speak kindly to yourself. You want the money, the success, the peace, but you're beating yourself up every single morning. And you wonder why it's not working. It's because the foundation is cracked. You're trying to climb without first standing firm. And self-love is what holds it all up. Without it, the first failure breaks you. The first rejection wrecks you. The first mistake convinces you that you're not good enough. But with self-love, with true, grounded, unshakable love for yourself, you don't fall apart when life gets tough. You rise through it. You don't fold when people walk away. You stay strong. You don't panic when things go wrong. You remind yourself, I got this. Not because life is easy, but because you know your worth doesn't rise and fall with the world. It stays steady because you built it yourself. Loving yourself means you stop waiting for permission. It means you stop needing someone to choose you, save you, rescue you. You become your own hero. You become the one who says, let's go, when no one else will, because self-love teaches you to take responsibility for your life. It's not just about affirmations and good vibes. It's about action. You feed your body like you love it. Guard your mind like it's valuable. You protect your energy like it's priceless. You set standards and enforce boundaries because you know you're worth more than chai-outs, more than drama, more than the bare minimum. And that doesn't mean you're arrogant. That doesn't mean you think you're better than anyone. It means you finally realize you don't have to beg to belong. You don't have to shrink to fit in. You don't have to break yourself to fix anyone else. You don't need validation from people who don't even know your story. love makes you free. Free from comparison. Free from self-hate. Free from the fear of not being enough. And when you're free, you're powerful. Because now your moves aren't motivated by insecurity. They're motivated by purpose. Think about how different your life would be if you started every morning with love for yourself. Not judgment, not pressure, love. What if the first words you spoke weren't complaints, but truth? I'm here, I'm alive, I'm worthy, I've got what it takes. That mindset would change your entire day. You'd walk different, talk different, move different, and that difference compounds day after day until your whole life is different. Because when you love yourself, you stop chasing things that hurt you. You stop staying in places that drain you. You stop tolerating disrespect, abuse, neglect, because you know your value. And once you know it, you don't lower it. You live it, you embody it. And that's the beginning of real confidence. Not fake confidence, not ego, but a quiet, steady belief in yourself that no one can shake. Let me tell you this, the world will try to convince you that loving yourself is weakness. That is selfish, that is arrogant. But they're wrong. Because you can't give what you don't have. You can't pour into others if you're running on empty. You can't lead, serve, create, inspire if you're constantly breaking down inside. Self-love is not the finish line. It's the starting point. It's not the reward for achieving your goals. It's the fuel that helps you achieve them. It's what gives you the strength to show up fully every day, even when things are tough. And yes, there will be days when it's hard. Days when the old voices come back. Days when you don't feel worthy, don't beautiful, don't feel capable. But self-love is not about feeling perfect. It's about choosing to show up anyway. It's about saying, even on my worst day, I still deserve my own love. And that choice, that's power. So today, I want you to make a decision. Not tomorrow, not next week. Today, decide to stop abandoning yourself. Stop tearing yourself down. Stop talking to yourself in ways you would never talk to someone you care about. Start treating yourself like someone worth protecting. Start speaking to yourself with love, with respect, with fire. Look in the mirror and say, I matter, I belong, I am enough. And say it again tomorrow and again the next day until it's not just a phrase. It's a truth etched into your spirit. Because once you love yourself, really love yourself, you stop chasing things that don't align with your value. You stop living small. You stop apologizing for your greatness. You rise and you keep rising. And nobody, not a critic, not a mistake, not even your past, can stop you. You want to change your life? Start by changing the way you see. Start by building your foundation, brick by brick, with love, patience, and grace. Because when you love yourself, everything else, your habits, your relationships, your goals, starts to rise with you. And that's how the real change begins. Right there, with you in the mirror, in the morning, in the choice to love the person staring back. That's where your power lies. And it's waiting for you to claim it. ChatGPT said, you ever wonder why people treat you a certain way? Why they talk to you a certain way? Why they cross lines, push boundaries, or expect you to carry more than your share? It's not always about who they are. Sometimes it's about what you've allowed. Because here's the truth. You teach people how to treat you by the way you treat yourself. Constantly put yourself last, if you always say yes when your heart is screaming no, if you allow disrespect just to keep the peace, you're not just hurting yourself. You're telling the world that this is okay, that you don't need to be prioritized, that you don't need respect. And let me tell you something, you do. You deserve to be treated like your time matters, like your voice matters, like your presence is valuable. But people won't do that if you don't show the how. Think about this. When someone walks into a room with confidence, with posture, with peace, they don't even have to say a word. You feel their standard. You recognize the energy they bring. That's what self-love does. It sets the tone before you even speak. When you love yourself deeply, you naturally protect your space. You naturally create boundaries and not walls to keep people out. Boundaries that protect what you've worked hard to build inside. And those boundaries, they're not punishment, they're instructions. You're not pushing people away. You're saying, if you want to be in my life, this is how you move. And if someone can't meet that level, you don't lower yourself. You let them walk. Because the moment you start loving yourself the way you expect others to love you, you stop begging. You stop chasing. You stop explaining your work to people who were never meant to carry it in the first place. Self-love is the filter through which all your relationships flow. You can't have healthy love with someone else if you're not first practicing it with yourself. That means how you speak to yourself matters. How you care for your body matters. How you spend your time matters. Every small act of self-respect sends a message, not just to others, but to you. You're showing yourself what you believe you deserve, and the more you honor that belief, the more your world starts to rise to meet it. It's not just about cutting people off. It's about calling yourself higher. It's about checking in with how you're moving through life. Are you honoring your own needs? Are you resting when you're tired? Are you pursuing your passions or just playing small to keep others comfortable? Because if you're constantly betraying yourself for the sake of fitting in, you're showing others that your needs come last. And guess what? They'll follow your lead. The way you treat yourself becomes the blueprint for every relationship you have. If you tolerate emotional chaos inside, you'll tolerate it outside. If you ignore your inner voice, you'll let others talk over it too. But when you start listening to yourself, respecting yourself, prioritizing your peace, you begin to attract a different kind of energy. People see that you don't need them to complete you. You're already holding your home. And when you don't settle, you choose. Let me be clear. This isn't about becoming hardened or bitter. It's about becoming aware of your worth, aware of your value, aware of your time, your energy, your presence, and choosing to protect that like it's sacred. Because it is. You weren't born to be a doormat. You weren't made to carry the weight of everyone else's needs, while your own soul is starving. You are not here to be an afterthought in your own life. You're here to lead it. So what does it look like to treat yourself with love? It's waking up and checking in with your spirit before the world checks in with their demands. It's saying no to things that drain you. It's saying yes to rest, to growth, to joy. It's walking away from relationships that make you question your worth. It's investing in your mind, your health, your dreams. It's holding yourself accountable, not from shame, but from love. Because you deserve to show up as your highest self. And here's the thing, when you raise your standard with you, everything around you shifts. People either rise to meet you or they remove themselves. And you stop taking it personally. Because now you understand, not everyone is meant to walk with you. Not everyone is meant to stay in your space. And that's not rejection. It's redirection. Life is aligning with the level you claim. The world will always try to give you what you tolerate. That's why it's so critical to set your own example. You show people how to speak to you by the way you speak to yourself. You show them how to value your time by the way you protect it. You show them how to love you by the way you love you. So ask yourself today, what are you teaching the world? Because every action, every choice, every word you say about yourself is either reinforcing your power or giving it away. And your power is too precious to be handed to people who don't respect it. You were not made to live small. You were not made to survive on scraps of affection, hoping someone finally sees your work. You were made to embody it, to live it. And that begins with you, not tomorrow, not after someone apologizes, not when everything's perfect. It starts now, in this moment. With one decision, I will love myself enough to never again allow less than I deserve. I will speak with power, walk with purpose, and set the tone for how the world treats me. By treating myself like I matter, because I do, and so do you. Act like it, live like it, teach the world. By example, you want to know why so many people are stuck, drained, anxious, and confused? It's because they spend every minute of their lives waiting for someone else to clap for them, waiting for validation, waiting for approval, waiting for someone to say, you're good enough. And let me tell you right now, if you keep waiting for people to believe in you before you believe in yourself, you will wait forever. Because no one can validate a work you haven't already accepted. You've got to stop handing your power over to people who don't know your heart. Stop begging for likes. Or stop chasing applause. Stop needing everyone to understand your path. It's your path for a reason. It wasn't built for the crowd. It was built for your growth, your breakthrough, your next level. And that means you've got to be able to stand in front of the mirror and say, I see me. I believe in me. I choose me, even when the world ignores you. Let's be honest. Some people won't clap until it's trendy. Some won't support you until they see success. And some never will, no matter how much you do. If your sense of self-worth depends on the noise outside, you'll always be a slave to opinion. You'll rise and fall with every comment, every silence, every rejection. That's no way to live. You weren't created to be controlled by other people's limited vision. You were born to lead your own. And that begins with one of the hardest but most powerful decisions you'll ever make. I will validate myself. I will show up for me. I will clap for me. I will push myself not because someone's watching, but because I refuse to quit on the person I'm becoming. That's what self-respect looks like. That's what self-leadership looks like. You don't need a stage to start walking in your purpose. You don't need a fan club to get out of bed and go after it. All you need is you. Think about how much energy you spent trying to prove yourself. To friends, to family, to people online. All that time trying to earn love that you should have been giving to yourself. That's time you don't get back. And it ends today. From this moment forward, you stop proving and you start owning. Own your story. Own your scars. Own your vision. It's not your job to convince the world. It's your job to become the version of yourself you were born to be, whether they get it or not. Let's break something down. Validation is an internal job. It's not earned through achievements. It's not gifted by compliments. not tied to attention. It's something you decide. I am enough right now. Not after you lose weight. Not after you make more money. Not after someone finally sees your work. Right now. Because if you don't learn how to give it to yourself, now you won't be able to hold it when you actually get what you want. You'll still be searching. Still be empty. Still needing someone to say you're okay. But what if you woke up and said, I'm proud of you? What if you didn't wait for permission to move? But move because it's what you were made to do. What if you didn't measure your value by how others see you, but by how you see you? That changes everything. That mindset makes you bulletproof. You stop flinching every time someone disagrees with you. You stop explaining yourself to people who don't even have the courage to chase their own dreams. You walk with certainty, not arrogance, because your belief is rooted in truth, not approval. Some of you have spent years quieting your voice so someone else could feel loud. You've dimmed your light so they could shine. You've been shrinking yourself for people who wouldn't even reach down to lift you up. It's time to stop that. It's time to take up space. It's time to stand tall in your own identity. You don't need to be chosen. You've already been called. And that calling isn't up for vote. Start validating yourself with your actions. Keep your promises. Stay committed. Invest in your growth. Speak to yourself with kindness and discipline. Set boundaries not because you hate others, but because you love yourself. That's how you show the world what you're made of. Not by screaming for attention, but by walking in alignment. And yes, it gets lonely. Yes, some days it feels like you're clapping for yourself in an empty room. But let me tell you something. Those are the days you're building your strength. Because if you can encourage yourself in silence, you'll be unstoppable in the storm. If you can walk alone, you'll never beg for a crowd. And if you can believe in yourself when no one else does, there's nothing you can't achieve when the world finally catches up. You don't need their validation. You need your vision. You need your voice. You need to look at the life you want and say, it starts with me. That's not ego. That's ownership. That's power. That's growth. Because when you finally learn to validate yourself, you become untouchable. The critics don't stop you. Doubts don't break you. The silence doesn't shake you because you're grounded, rooted, ready. So the next time you start looking for someone to clap, someone to notice, someone to tell you're doing great, stop. Look in the mirror. Speak to your own reflection. Say, I see you. I believe in you. I'm proud of you. And mean it. Then go out and live like it. This is your life. This is your moment. You don't need anyone's permission to rise. You just need your own. Give it, then go. Every single morning, the first voice you hear, the first words you say, have the power to either build you up or break you down. Before the world gets a chance to label you, before your phone starts buzzing with demands, before the opinions and expectations come crashing in, you get to choose what energy you walk into the day with. And that choice, that power, it starts with your words. The words you speak over your life aren't just sound. They are seeds. Seeds that will grow into either confidence or fear, strength or doubt, progress or paralysis. So many people wake up and immediately start planting the wrong seeds. I'm so tired. I can't do this. I'm not good enough. Today's gonna be hard. They don't realize they are setting the tone for their entire day with those words. And then they wonder why they feel heavy, why they feel stuck, why life feels like a battle before it even begins. The battle doesn't start outside, it starts within. And your words are your first weapon or your first weakness. You either fight for yourself or against yourself. The moment you open your mouth, you've got to speak power into your life every single day, even when you don't feel it, especially when you don't feel it, because the power of your words is not just emotional, it's transformational. Your brain listens, your spirit listens, your body listens. When you say, I can, something inside starts to shift. When you say, I will, something begins to rise. That's not magic, that's mindset, that's alignment, that's the raw force of belief starting to take root in the soil of discipline. It's easy to talk about affirmations, but this isn't about repeating fluffy mantras you don't believe. It's about speaking truth until your reality starts catching up. You might not feel strong right now, but say it anyway. I am strong. You might be struggling, but say, I at it, I'm still standing. You might be full of fear, but declare, I move with courage, because these words aren't lies. They're choices. You're choosing the direction of your energy, your mindset, and your future. And here's the thing, the world will speak enough negativity over your life. Life is hard enough without you being your own enemy. Why add to the noise? Why reinforce the lies? You've got to be your own biggest fan before anyone else ever claps for you. You've got to become your own coach before life even gives you the team. Every morning is your huddle, and what you say in that huddle determines how you perform out on the field. So when you wake up tomorrow, and every day after, you speak with authority. You speak like your life depends on it, because it does. You say, I am not my past. I am my potential. I am not my failure. I am my fight. I am not what happened to me. I am what I choose to do next. That's power. That's direction. That's how you reset your mindset before life tries to mess with it. Think about how many people walk into their day on autopilot, repeating the same tired complaints, the same self-doubt, the same defeated language. And then they wonder why nothing changes. It doesn't change because the language hasn't changed. Words are the blueprint of belief. You can't build a strong life on weak language. If your words are soft, your actions will be softer. If your language is full of limitation, your vision will shrink to match it. Now flip that. What happens when your words are bold? When your speech is full of conviction? When your first thought in the morning is, let's go, I've got work to do. I've got a mission to fulfill. I've got purpose in my bones. You start carrying yourself different. You walk with intention. You operate with confidence. You make decisions from a place of strength, not insecurity. And no, this doesn't mean you'll never have hard days. This doesn't mean everything will magically work out. But when your words are strong, your spirit can handle the storm. You become unshakable. You become the kind of person who, even when everything around you falls apart, can still say, I'm built for this. I was born to rise. I will not break. Let your words become a daily contract with your destiny. Speak about where you're going, not just where you've been. I talk like the version of you you're becoming is already real. Because the truth is, the only thing standing between you and that version is the decision to believe and act like it's possible. So today, right now, make a decision to change the script. Throw out the language of defeat and replace it with words that make your soul sit up straight. Stop saying, I can't, and start saying, I will stop figure it out. And start saying, I'm becoming. Stop saying, I don't belong. And start saying, I am the difference. Your words are a mirror. They reflect how you see yourself, but they also shape what you become. You can either use that mirror to criticize or to claim. You can either break yourself down with it or build yourself up. Speak power, speak purpose, speak life. Because what you say consistently, you become. So tomorrow morning and every morning after, don't just rise from your bed, rise with intention. Open your mouth, open your spirit, and declare to the world, I'm here, I'm ready, I'm worthy, I'm built for greatness, and I will not be stopped. The world listens. Your mind listens. Speak power, then go live it. You've come this far. You've listened, reflected, absorbed every truth spoken into your spirit. Now, it's time to make a decision that changes your life. Not tomorrow, not next week, not when it's convenient, right now. Because this isn't just a motivational video, this is a call to rise. A call to wake up to the power already living inside you. It's not hiding. It's not lost. It's just waiting for you to remember who you are. You are not here by accident. You are not broken beyond repair. You are not too late, too far gone, or too much to handle. You are powerful. You are becoming. And everything you've been through, every storm, every lonely night, every breakdown, it wasn't meant to destroy you. It was meant to develop you. Every hardship planted the seed of greatness inside you. And now is the time to water it with action. Loving yourself is not weakness. It's the beginning of real power. Because when you finally decide to show up for yourself the way you show up for others, everything in your life begins to shift. When you start honoring your own voice, you're protecting your own peace, respecting your own journey. That's when doors open. That's when the right people come. That's when you stop chasing and start attracting. Because self-love creates alignment. You stop moving from desperation. You start moving from wholeness. You want to change your life. It's not about working harder. It's not about being perfect. It's not about becoming someone else. It's about coming home to yourself. It's about accepting that you're already enough, even as you grow. It's about waking up every morning, look in the mirror and saying, I choose me. I believe in me. I love who I'm becoming. That kind of love, that's unshakable. That's unstoppable. And don't you dare think for a second that it's selfish. Because when you fill yourself with love, you start pouring out from overflow, not from depletion. You start showing up in your relationships with clarity. You make decisions with strength. You walk into rooms with peace. You stop bending and breaking just to be accepted, because you've already accepted yourself. That's the version of you the world needs. The real you. The full you. The healed, whole, self-respecting version of you. You have one life, one shot, one chance to write a story you're proud of. So stop waiting, stop shrinking, stop silencing yourself to keep the peace. You are not here to survive. You're here to rise. You're here to shine. You're here to live boldly, love deeply, and walk in your truth like you were born for it. Because you were. And listen to me. There will still be hard days. There will still be moments when you doubt, when the old voices creep in, when you feel like slipping back into who you used to be. But this time you fight back with truth. You remind yourself, I am not going backward. I've come too far. I've done too much work to forget who I am. You plant your feet, you square your shoulders, and you move forward. even if it's slow, even if it's messy. Forward is forward. You owe it to yourself to see how far you can go when you stop running from your own reflection. You owe it to yourself to find out who you become when you speak love instead of shame, when you act with intention instead of fear, when you start every day choosing you, that version of you, the one who speaks life, who sets boundaries, who walks with fire. That version is already inside you. You just have to choose to activate it. So here's the challenge, not just today, every day. Wake up with purpose, speak with power, move with confidence, lead with love. Protect your energy like it's sacred, because it is. Make every step intentional. Make every word count. Make your life speak louder than your pain ever did. You don't need another pep talk. You don't need another reason. You don't need more time. You need action. You need commitment. You need to stand in the mirror, look yourself in the eyes and say, this is my time. This is my turn. This is my breakthrough. And I'm not waiting for anyone else to believe in me. I believe in me. Let today be the day you stop apologizing for your greatness. Let today be the day you reclaim every ounce of energy you gave away trying to be enough. Let today be the day you own your space, your story, your worth. The world doesn't need a perfect version of you. It needs a real one. It needs a bold one. It needs the one that wakes up every morning full of love, purpose, and power and says, I am enough. I am worthy. And I'm just getting started. Now go out there and make that voice in your head your loudest cheerleader. Make that mirror your best friend. And make self-love your superpower. Because once you do, there's nothing that can stop you.